580. Welcome to week 3. I hope everybody had a good week too. I know this is a little bit later in the morning than I'd like to get them out, but I did finish all your grading for your discussion posts for week 2. So your grades are up to date. Sometimes if I know I can get the grading done before the video comes out, I like to do that so you know that it's updated. Just a thought on the discussion post. They were great. They were really, really great. And your topics are varied and all over the place as far as a class, which is awesome. I expect a lot of learning to happen in between now and the end of this course and the end of your program. What I would say is when you're researching topics that can be subjective, like motivation is hard, creativity, some of those kind of things, I would say be really specific in what your outcomes are, your desired outcomes, and what your research is going to be on. Because a topic of like motivation or creativity or anything that's subjective, not just those two, it can be really hard because there's so many factors that influence it. But overall, I'm really excited to see where these ideas take us. And there was a lot of great back and forth. There was a disagreement. There was learning. So good job as a class. Let's jump into week 3. If you focus on what you left behind, you will never be able to see what lies ahead. And that is from the movie Ratatouille. And sometimes it's easy to look back and see some of the things we're missing out on. I know when you're doing a program like this, I did a Masters of Ed program online as well. There's things you want to do that you can't do because you have an assignment coming up. But know that you guys are towards the end of it, and pressing on towards that goal is worth it, right? You're so close, and so focus on all the things you've gained, not the things you've lost. This week, the learning outcomes, it's again reflecting on the research process, analyzing studies, identifying research problems, looking at the design process, and writing your proposal. So that's kind of just the learning outcomes for this week. As far as content, there's not a lot. 2 chapters in the text. There's an article that is about 9 pages long. It's good. It's a really good article and kind of just frames the whole idea of subjectivity, kind of what I was speaking to in your discussion board posts. There are no videos, and once again, I'm leaving these capstone examples here. I'll try to leave those there all course, just so you can open it and kind of see what's going on. If you're one that doesn't like bullet points with more text, here are your learning outcomes, and here are your readings within the week view. The discussion board post this week is about avoiding plagiarism. Know that is a big deal. Once again, I can't recommend enough use Grammarly. If it's connected to your Concordia account, you get the premium version, and it's going to help you see how close you are on percentage of if it's plagiarized or not. And know that if, let's say it comes out at 12%, but you go check where it says it's plagiarized, if you have a citation behind it, you're fine because you're citing and referencing that source. So there's a couple articles to read on that before you answer that discussion post. And once again, if you're not bullet point but more of a paragraph person, here it is right here. So kind of look through these 2 articles, and then you're going to write about the passage inside it. And this is practicing, is kind of what this discussion question is for. So your discussion question, avoid plagiarism. Your assignment this week is working on chapter 2. So I'm going to pop into that in a second. I just want to scroll and finish out. Looking ahead to week 4, you have reviewing your journal entries, review of a website on bibliographies. There's a lot of information there. And you have an assignment on annotated bibliography. So that's what's coming up in week 4. You can always, click in the week 4 area if you want to see more of that. So let's pop into your assignment this week. It's worth 40 points, and it's starting your topic sentence, your project sentence, your purpose sentence. This should be 3 to 5 pages following APA. If you're struggling with APA, you can reach out to me. There are so many resources on the internet for APA as well as your APA manual. but don't lose points due to formatting or grammar. Once again, a plug for Grammarly. It's going to catch most of your mistakes, not all of them, but it is a great tool. And don't forget about the writing lab, that if you submit your paper early, an actual writing tutor will go over it and give you comments and feedback on that. And so going through here, you're going to be writing an opening sentence, and it kind of talks about what that would look like. You're going to explain your problem and purpose statement, and I would highly suggest also using headings to kind of break it up. Not only for me, but for you, it definitely helps organize your paper. And know that when you use headings in a Google Doc and you use this little document outline over here, it allows you to bounce around to those headings quickly, which is a great tool. So there are a couple things to look at here. There's going to be like this checkbox, self-reflection, clearly stated. We looked at this last week. What's the purpose of the study? What's your subjectivity statement? Do you need to define anything? And then you get into the rubric. If you read through this and you have any questions like what would a highly developed look like in area 1.5, the purpose is tied to the reflection with support from professional literature. Know that a lot of that's going to be appropriate writing. Did you hit the 3 sources that are minimum? And are the sources that you pick tied to your actual problem? You can always email me or text me and we can connect. We can even connect over Zoom if that would be better for you. And then up here towards the top, there's this article. It's writing good qualitative research questions. And it's not a long, I wouldn't say it's even an article. It's sort of a worksheet. And it's only a couple of pages, but it's really going to help you if you're struggling. I think some of you are well on your way, and that's great. This is still good to go through, and I think some of you may be struggling because your problem statement is complex. And so use this worksheet to help. If you want to shoot me an email with what you think your purpose or problem statement is, feel free to shoot it, and I can give you some feedback that way as well. That is week 3. I just want to say keep pushing through. I know there's a lot going on. I think we're all in California, if I remember correctly, and the state is just, it's crazy right now with teaching online, hybrid, or in person. They all have their challenges. There's so much change. We don't know what's happening next year. But know that some of that is out of your control. You can control your classroom and you can control your program here. So, and if you're struggling with timing or things of that nature, please reach out to me. I hope you have a great week.